Welcome, everybody, to the Bronx Queens Bros podcast. I'm Big V. We got Big D. How we doing, Dave?
Dude, I'm doing good. It's our last night in Miami. We had a hell of a time. We'll get into what we witnessed on the baseball field. But as you guys may have noticed, only 2/3 of the BQB bros are here. The better 2/3, probably.
Uh, well,
Most
certainly.
definitely,
I'm the
yeah.
best, but we won't get into that right
Yeah, you're definitely top three. Jack B is not here, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to step in as the Yankees insider for today's episode, and I'm also going to jack off for Jack today.
Oh no!
I'm going to jack off Big D edition.
Oh, I wonder how fast.
So yeah, we got to recap the Mets opening day series. We got to recap the Yankees opening day series, and we're going to get into our segments today. And I'm excited.
Oh, I'm super stoked up for this. But Dave,
You got something for me?
I got something for everybody.
Let's hear it.
This episode is sponsored by one of the best kept secrets in northern New Jersey, Engineering and Design Concepts, a small company doing big things. They specialize in product development, manufacturing, and test equipment. If you or anyone you know need assistance in that field, they are the company you need to contact. The link to their website will be in the description below. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to just quickly state that the Mets and Yankees both won their opening series.
Heck yeah, that's something we can all be happy about right there.
Whether you're a Met or Yankee fan, you got to be happy with the way the season has started for both teams. The Mets won 3 out of 4 against Miami, and the Yankees won 2 out of 3 against San Francisco.
Yep.
And I'm going to quickly start on Thursday, opening day, with the Mets.
Heck yeah.
Me and Big D were there. If
We
you
were
follow us on all the socials, you probably saw we were posting everywhere. We were doing big things. Now, before we get into everything, the Mets did end up winning that day, 5-3. Max Scherzer got the opening day nod. He pitched 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, struck out 6, ended up getting the win, which was good. He started off great, and then he kind of tailed off towards the end. That last inning, they really started to hit him.
Yeah, what was it? Was it the sixth inning?
Sixth inning.
Sixth inning, but it was really good to see if you're a Mets fan. The offense came right back and backed them up.
Oh, it's great. It's what the Mets did all year last year. Is every time the opponent scored, the offense would come right back, strike again, and it was fantastic. Brandon Nimmo ended up going 1 for 3, drove in the first run of the season, and then, as Dave had just mentioned, drove in the go-ahead 2-run double in the 7th, which was great to see. He ended up getting a walk and stole a base. But the big story here was the bullpen. Dave, you had mentioned last episode a big worry possibly would be without Diaz as the bullpen.
Yeah.
But Drew Smith, Brooks Raley, and David Robertson, 3 shutout innings on opening day. They all looked great. David Robertson ended up getting the save. So we'll have to see if that over-underline on the saves and how it's going to look in a little bit.
Heck yeah.
What was your opinion on opening day?
Yeah, as a whole, again, we were there, so the environment was really cool. There's a lot of Mets fans out here in Miami, so it was good to see that. We had some back and forth with some Miami fans, but as a Mets fan, could you really ask for a better game? I mean, you could get real nitpicky here and say, they could have given up less runs, scored more runs, whatever. You'll take that game. It's a great way to start the season, starting off hot. And as we talk about this more, that bullpen was really encouraging to see. We had a save situation game 1. That's what we needed to come out, and they needed to prove that they can handle that.
Well, can I say Miami felt like Citi Field because that was practically a home game?
Yeah, right.
There was more Mets fans than Marlins fans. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Crowd was pumping. They had the 7-line army out down the right field line.
They did. That was
Steve
awesome.
Cohen was there. We didn't see him, sadly. We wanted to get him on the pod. We failed, sadly, but
it's because they wouldn't let us bring the money gun into the stadium, or else he would have seen that and been like, "Hey, I have one of those."
We had some fun stories here, guys. I don't know if we could tell them on YouTube. We might be getting in trouble, so we'll lay off for now. I'm actually going to just go through the Mets games, if you don't mind, then we'll jump to the Yankee games.
Let's do it.
So then Friday, a lot of teams had off. Not the New York Mets, baby, but they probably should have, because it's the one game that they dropped in the series. They ended up losing 2-1 against Miami, 2-1 to the Marlins. Their only run came on Alonso solo shot in the 9th inning, which was good to see him get the first one out of the way of the season. Jack B was kind of accurate so far. He looks great in one at bat, then kind of looks lost in the other. So hopefully he can get hot again But Peterson, he was dealing with traffic throughout the whole game. Ended up it was an okay line, which was 5 innings, 1 run allowed, 5 Ks. Did so it wasn't bad. A lot of I wish he could limit the hits allowed and the walks a little bit more. But the bullpen here, Tommy Hunter, big man Tommy, I shouted him out last time. 2 shutout innings, and then John Curtis allowed a home run to Jazz Chisholm, which ended up being the difference in the game. So that was in John Curtis is a big guy that Mets signed 2 years ago. Was recovering from Tommy John. First outing out. Hey, listen, he's the Jazz the cover of the new MLB 23 The Show. So, he's obviously a good player. Luzardo, though, for the Miami Marlins looked amazing. He really dominated the lineup. The Mets last year had a big problem against lefty starting pitchers. And I'm wondering if that's going to carry into this year. I mean, only time will tell. But hopefully they could be able to, fix that problem, at least hopefully early on.
Yeah, let's set an over underline about how many times I bring up the Mets bullpen. You take the L in this game. Obviously, nobody wants to lose, but overall, bullpen still didn't look bad, right? The Mets only gave up 2 runs in this whole game. Didn't generate as much offense as we'd like to see. So you're right. Let's keep an eye on that against lefties. But again, I'm not super upset if I'm a Mets fan. You ultimately won the series, but again, the bullpen proved, the pitching staff proved that they're competent,
Yeah.
and they're not gonna hopefully take a step back with this whole Diaz injury.
100%. Also, Miami was hitting the ball. They got a lot of hits every single game. The Mets were in a lot of trouble, but they were making the big pitches. And man, was there some good defense out there because on Saturday, I think Lindor had a great game. He turned a big double play. I'm going to get into that game right now.
Yeah.
Mets, before I actually say that, me and Big D, we were at Saturday's game as well. I don't know if you saw us on TV. We were a little bit behind home plate.
About 10 rows deep.
About 10 rows deep. Yeah. We had great seats. Great seats.
If the cameras are smart, we were on TV. That's what
I mean, listen, we were wearing the new BQB shirts. If you don't notice, we're wearing them right now. They look great on us. You've never looked better, Dave, dare I say. Now, big drip. Tylor McGill got the start in place of Justin Verlander, who is out injured. It looks like Verlander's injury is going to be a minor thing. Fingers crossed. We'd love to see him get back. Now, McGill allowed the 2-run home run against Nick Fortes, but you know what? He didn't allow anything else. A little bit of walks with 7 strikeouts. He ended up getting the win. But Dave, what was a big part of the game here?
Dude, that bullpen, again, as a Mets fan, that has to settle some anxieties you had no more than a week ago, because I know that's the big question mark on the season. And you had 4 shutout innings from the bullpen, and a lot of guys contributed to that.
So we had Dennis Santana, Drew Smith, Brooks Raley, Adam Ottavino, and Robertson. They all combined for 4 shutout innings. I mean, they looked great. A couple offensive keynotes in this game where Mark Canha had a great game. 3 for 4, a home run, a double, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a walk. He looked great. I mean, everyone kind of didn't like him after the first 2 games for whatever reason. I saw all over Twitter. They were kind of shitting on him. But, hey, listen, the guy had a solid year last year, and I expect nothing but for him to be solid again this year. And then Big Meat Pete went 2 for 3, 2 walks, a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. I had Alonso for my parlay to hit a home run. Sadly, he came up short. Cost me a few $100, but that's no big deal. I know maybe he'll win me some money later on this season. But all in all, that was a great game to be at. The Mets offense was doing good. The Mets pitching did very good. Dave, how did you have? Did you have fun?
Dude, I had a great time. I get probably the best seats I've ever had at a live baseball game. So that alone made it worth it. But then, yeah, to kind of be like a stand-in Mets fan for the day and see pretty much again kind of you're happy with every aspect of that game. You can get nitpicky, which we're going to in a minute, but no, at the end of the day you're happy with the game on Saturday.
100%. I completely agree. I'm actually going to jump right into Sunday real quick. Kodai Senga makes his major league debut for the New York Mets. And can I say, he got to go out on the mound with a 2-0 lead. The Mets offense were able to scratch in a couple runs. And he started off very rough.
He did.
He allowed a run already. And bases loaded, no outs. But he really settled in. You
Yeah.
know, he got lucky with the line drive that went right at, but he really settled in. And after that, he allowed no hits, a couple walks in there, but looked great and got 8 strikeouts, all of which came on the ghost fork pitch.
Yeah. And I don't know, they showed it on the broadcast, but in the Marlins Stadium where they show the pitch type, you know what it said?
What did it say, Dave?
It said unknown. It was great. Um, fooled the whole the Marlins Stadium. But another point, also noticed on the broadcast, you saw him before he got out there. It looked a little anxious. Definitely looked nervous. Had some jitters. Great that they gave him a 2-run cushion to go out there with. That was huge. So I think crisis averted. But to see him settle down, again, kind of pitch through adversity, get out of it, and then go on to dominate the rest of the game. Very encouraging to see if you're a Mets fan.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I love to see that they weren't really hitting the pitch that he's known for, and
The
that's the
unknown
pitch,
pitch.
an unknown pitch. He's literally done an unknown pitch, and I'm excited that he had a great first game. The jitters are out. I know he's going to be able to pitch. He's pitching in New York his next start,
Yeah.
so that's going to be fun to see the crowd. He had a 90 pitch limit, so he pitched 5 1/3,
Yeah.
which was good, and he was at 89 pitches. So maybe next time out he'll get to go up to 100.
Yep.
Should be good for the rest of the season. But Dave, there's something coming up right here. What did the
Dude.
bullpen do?
The bullpen 3 2/3 shutout innings again. Santana came in. Curtis and Nogasek came
Sek.
in. Nogasek.
Nogasek.
I apologize.
New Mets
I
fan.
wasn't at the game.
New
so,
Mets fan. New Mets fan.
Yeah. This is my first weekend really even paying attention to the Mets. So, but hey, yeah, love to see the bullpen come out and do that. And you got some notable offensive players for us.
Yeah. So, well, quickly, I'd like to just note that John Curtis is the only guy who allowed a run in this whole series. It was nice to see him come back out and have a shutout inning. That's good.
Absolutely.
He has some good stuff. I really do like him. But one guy who, listen, if you listen to the last episode, I was not a fan of the signing.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty, and I'm a man to take ownership of what I said. But Tommy Pham had a great game. He went 3 for 4 with a walk, a home run, a double, and 3 RBI. The double should have been a triple, but we're getting nitpicky here. But he looked great. He really did. And you know what? The lineup, when it was released, I even told Dave, I was like, why the hell are we batting Tommy Pham leadoff? What is this?
Yep.
And you know what? What do I know? He looked great. He had a great game. And funny enough, after the game, he said that he got new contact lenses.
New
And
contacts.
he said that contributed for him to be able to see the ball better at the plate and in the field.
Eyesight is important in the game of baseball, so I'm glad he got that straightened out.
I mean, you're not seeing any blind baseball players right now in the major leagues.
Not right now.
Not right now. Maybe one day.
So overall, you're happy as a Mets fan.
Oh, I'm thrilled. How can I not be? One, I got to go to, so this is my first ever opening day.
Yeah.
And I got to do it in Miami. I know, listen, the game was fun, but we had a great time here in general.
Great time. We got a little sunburnt, but we're not used to this type of weather in late March and early April. We're filming this at night because we really don't want it to be showing how sunburnt we are. But all in all, if I could repeat this weekend, I absolutely would, although it was expensive as hell. Now, is it too early to ask you? Last episode, when we brought up Tommy Pham, we talked about him because I asked you, will he be a Met by the end of the season?
Listen, I'm going to stay by my word because I can't change it.
It's early.
It's early. This could have been one great game.
Yep.
And he could just tail off for the rest of the season for all we know. Or he could be an all-star. I have no idea. There's no way of knowing. But you know what? If he does great, I'm going to be okay with not being able to get that bet. That means he's having a great season.
Absolutely.
And, I don't mind.
Well, I'm going to have to go back, and I don't know if you remember what Jack said, but maybe you won't even lose that in the total standings of our bets because maybe Jack agreed with you?
I think Jack did agree with me.
Well,
so we might be okay, actually.
You two are always on the same page, it seems.
All right.
All right, speaking of Jack, God, I miss him dearly. But he is not here, so I'm going to step in and recap the Yankees for everyone.
All right.
Thursday, Yankees opening day at the stadium. Just, again, if you're a Yankee fan, it's really the perfect situation here. They won 5-0, and Cole came in, pitched 6 innings, and set a new Yankees record for the most strikeouts on opening day with 11. Just came out, looked dominant. So that was really good to see. And who else? Aaron Judge, in his first plate appearance, hits a home run. Those are the two stars of your team right there. Two stars of your team doing what they're getting paid and what they're known to do. Gleyber Torres also went 1 for 3. He had a 2-run home run in the fourth inning. And the bullpen, we talked about the Mets bullpen. Yankees bullpen looks solid here too. Wandy Peralta came in, Jonathan Loaizaga, and Ron Marinaccio all looks phenomenal and threw 3 shutout innings. And then we got to see Volpe's debut. So that was very exciting for Yankees fans. I know there's a lot of hype around him. He looked pretty solid. He had his first career stolen base, which we think that's going to be a big part of his game. I kind of talked about how maybe there would be like a level of confidence he needs to build in order to do that. Nah, I was wrong. He just came out first game, and we'll talk about it a little more. But second and third game, stole all these bases. So awesome to see there. You have any takeaways from the Yankees opening day?
Well, yeah, I mean, you mentioned Judge hit a home run in his first at bat. That was also the first home run of the 2023 Major League Baseball season. And who other than the man who led all of Major League Baseball last year in home runs, Mr. Aaron Judge? Dead center. Listen, this if this guy stays healthy year in year out, he's gonna put up gaudy numbers. He's gonna put up video game numbers, and I'm here for it. I love seeing guys doing stuff that we rarely see. It's great for the game of baseball. It's great for the Yankees. They need him to be healthy. They need him to be there every day. They need him to be in that lineup, carrying that lineup. And Mr. Garrett Cole,
Oh,
I said it from the start. I think this man is in line to have an amazing season, and he's making me look good early on because I think this man is going to end up being in the Cy Young running, and he looked fantastic. He looked like the ace of the Yankee staff and the ace of the league. Simply dominant. Great for him to get off to a great start. Please, everybody, ignore if there's any sounds out here. We're outside in public. We got a lot of cars here
we're
and
in
a lot
the
of
city
horns.
of Miami. You never know what's going to happen here, but we couldn't pass up the opportunity to film this and break down all these games for you guys. So yeah, if you're a Yankees fan, you're thrilled after opening day. Perfect scenario here. And since Jack is not here, I am going to say what I know Jack would say in this situation. Aaron Judge is the reigning AL MVP. Now, they had the day off Friday.
Wait, hold on. Can I just jump in with Otani stats all of a sudden, or we're just gonna leave that alone?
Well, you and Jack can talk about that
Next time we'll get into it.
So they had the game off Friday. Then we get to Saturday where Yankees get their first loss of the season. They fall 5-7. Clark Schmidt came out as the starting pitcher, threw 3 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 home runs allowed, and had 5 strikeouts. We'll talk about him a little more. You were hopeful. You know, he was a former first-round pick for the Yankees, a guy who could potentially pitch his way into a long-term starter for them, but got off to a little bit of a slow start. And then we had King come in for an inning and 2/3 and allowed 2 runs, and he ultimately got the loss on the game. Did see some positive offense. Stanton hit a nice line drive home run to right field, and Donaldson also got a nice home run. I picked him as a player to watch in this opening series.
Wait. What would Jack say if we mentioned Donaldson?
I think you would say it better than I would say.
Ringer!
Absolutely. So Donaldson got a nice home run. And, the game got really interested in the ninth inning. The Yanks had bases loaded, 1 out. And you got Stanton, who came up to the plate, hit a home run earlier in the game, and he just grounded into a tough double play to end the game. He was very, his post-game interview, he just obviously you're not happy about that, but he seemed to take all the blame for his whole team. And yeah, tough way to end the game, but nice to see the Yankees had some fight in them. Never really out of it, even though at times it looked like they might have been. Also, keynote, Anthony Volpe got his first major league hit. Looked eerily similar, and you and I were talking about this earlier. Looked eerily similar to Derek Jeter's first hit. We don't love all the comparisons to Jeter. It's hard not to. It's putting a lot of pressure on the kid, though. But it was good to see his first hit, and he also stole another base. So, what are your takeaways from Saturday?
Listen, quickly before I get into the game, is I actually am on the side where I really don't like the comparison to Derek Jeter. Listen, I get it. Listen, the kid's going to be a great prospect, and I know there always comes hype with prospects. And listen, the Yankee fans aren't the only fans that are guilty of this. Mets fans are. Any team who has a great, highly talented prospects are. I just am worried that everyone's going to be like, oh, this kid's going to be the next Jeter. This kid's going to be hitting like Jeter. He's going to field like Jeter. He's going to be clutch like Jeter. Just let's let him
Time
play
will
the
tell.
game.
Time will tell.
Let the game come to the kid. He's gonna be a great player. Just let him become Anthony Volpe.
Yeah,
He can't be Derek Jeter.
exactly.
He may be close to it. He may be better than it for all we know. But he's Anthony Volpe. Let him play Anthony Volpe's game,
Yep.
and I think everyone's gonna be happy.
Yeah, and real quick before you give your thoughts on that game, speaking of Volpe, he did have that error, which looked like an awkward, tough play. He lost his footing a little bit. Another, you listened to his post game interview, and like, I kind of felt heartbroken for the kid. He
Yeah.
just took so. He said he's going to keep him up at night. And again, we talk about all the pressure these young guys must face, and it's one error in one game, the second game of the season. We think he's going to be fine, but
Yeah.
it's interesting to see that.
During the game, yeah, I mean, listen, definitely more offense in this game for both sides. Um, Stan hitting a home run, Donaldson hitting a home run. That's good to see for Donaldson. As we all like to assume, we think he's going to have a better season this year. Hey, Volpe getting another stolen base is nice. It's clearly going to be a big part of the game. I mean, that's going to be great. But seeing the Yankees still going, having an opportunity in the ninth was very refreshing.
Yeah.
It's very nice to see that they're not putting one foot out when they're down in the game. They got fight in them. I know Stan didn't come up clutch, but listen, he hit the ball pretty well. It was just right at Crawford, and they were able to turn double play to end it. But it's very promising for me to see that they're never going to be out of a game, which is very good.
Exactly. That brings us right to Sunday, where they got back on track, winning 6-0, and we had a nice look at Johnny Brito, who pitched 5 innings, 0 runs allowed, and 6 Ks. We thought maybe he was taken out of the game a little early. We don't know if there was a strategy discussed on when to take him out of the game, but the kid was dealing, and it was super fun to watch. But can't really complain too much. The bullpen came in for 4 shutout innings. Cordero looked great. Marinaccio and Brewer looked solid to finish off the game. And then we got to see some power from Judge. Stanton, his home run, oh my goodness, 485 feet, which was the
Dude.
longest.
It went over the batter's eye in center field.
Since 2015, it was the longest home run hit at Yankee Stadium by a Yankee. And then Higashioka came in with the home run. So that was good to see some offense being generated. Volpe stole another base. First player since Billy Hamilton did it in 2013 to steal a base in each of their first 3 major league games. That's incredible.
I mean, that just shows you what kind of speed this kid's got. I mean, it's incredible. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but me and Jack actually got to play against him when he was on Del Bar in high school. I didn't do anything. I was on the bench, but I mean, it was a great game from my seat. I had a great vantage point, and he made a hell of a play at shortstop. And I was like, "Yo, this kid's gonna be something special." Yeah. So it's definitely cool to see him come out to the big leagues. And it's like, I got to see him well before he became a big time guy.
Absolutely, that's always exciting, especially if he becomes, the player that a lot of people are expecting to be. You're gonna always be able to say, "I watched him play from my bench." So that's great. Again, if you're a Yankee fan, you're kind of thrilled. Lot of solid offensive generation. No one's really slacking, which we'll get into in a minute. We can get a little nitpicky, but I think as a whole, you're happy with the outcome, and I'm curious to see what Jack is how he's feeling about these first 3 games. But you have any takeaways from Sunday before we get into our segments?
For Sunday, listen, me and Dave got to watch the game from the pool here at our condo that we're at, which was nice. We had the Mets and Yankee game at the same time. I don't think I could have a better day.
That's the life, bro.
Literally, I don't think I could have a better day. We had some pizza while we were there. It was a great time. So that might have just made everything better. But listen, Burrito, a hell of a changeup. Listen, I'm going to be honest. Listen, I'm a Mets fan, as everybody knows. So I wasn't really sure who he was. He looked amazing.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees might have some real stuff with this kid here. I was disappointed they took him out early. Now I'm also not familiar with if there was a pitch limit on his end or something. I thought the kid had another inning in him. I thought he looked really good. Maybe that's just me. I love starting pitchers going deep in games.
Yeah.
But I loved it. It was fun. And then Stan's home run, when he hit it, I just went like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, holy shit. He fucking crushed that.
Absolute shot. Yeah. One thing we didn't talk about, important note from the Yankees, I think, is kind of a surprise start opening day in left field. Oswaldo Cabrera got the start. I didn't see it coming. We expected to see Aaron Hicks out there, and Aaron Hicks kind of came out and talked about how he has no idea what his role is with the Yankees. Really, just all he wants to do is play. But I think Oswaldo earned his start, and it was good to see the kid get a chance. Really curious to see how that unfolds in the future.
I am too. I mean, it's, you know, I don't know how I feel with Aaron Hicks coming out and talking in that way. I feel like he could have said something a little better. He hasn't produced past couple years, and I feel like what he said was a little selfish. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe misreading stuff. I'm very interested to see what Jack's gonna say on our next
Jack
episode. We're
loves
definitely
Aaron
gonna
Hicks.
we're definitely gonna get into that one next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Well, I'm gonna hold off on commenting more until I can talk to Jack. But I'm wondering if maybe the Yankees aren't going to be a fan of his comments. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but you know what it's time for, V?
What time?
It's been a minute since we've done this. It feels like you're cooking something up.
Oh, am I cooking something?
It's hot in Miami, but you know what's even hotter?
Big V, baby. It's
Vitan's
time for
HotStove.
That's right. That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Big D has mentioned it the entire episode. The entire episode.
Couple times.
The Mets bullpen has made Vitan's HotStove. They pitched in 4-game series, 13 and 2/3 innings, 8 hits allowed, 1 earned run allowed, 1 run allowed in total, 3 walks, and 15 strikeouts. Simply dominant. The 1 run, I know it's going to be looked on a little differently just because of the difference in the game, but it's very refreshing to see that the Mets have great arms in there, even with the loss of Diaz. It looks like Robertson had a great start. Picked up a save opening day, pitched another scoreless inning again. It's awesome. I'm so thrilled that the Mets bullpen looks good. They needed that. If the Mets bullpen looked like shit to start the season,
that's an issue.
It would be a very big issue. A lot of people would be panicking and be in trouble.
Yeah.
Now, the Yankees got someone on the hot stove too.
Ooh, give it to me. Crank it up. This one's gonna be hot.
The Yankees ace, Garrett Cole, is making the hot stove. Listen, I could have picked some other guys, and those other guys are going to make it eventually. I'll tell you that right now. And Cole probably making it again. But Garrett Cole just simply dominated the Giants. He looked great. He looked amazing. 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. They just couldn't hit him. He lost a strike zone a couple times, but he looked real good. And I just think he needed to do that. He needed to come out, just shut the door on the Giants, be like, I'm here to show you guys that I'm the real deal. I'm going to kick everyone's ass this year, and I'm going to make Vitan's hot stove many, 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 many times this year. He looked fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, so everyone knows, I don't need to comment on the hot stuff because you're the professional here, but everyone knows how I feel about the Mets bullpen. Let me ask you real quick, scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you at the performance of the Mets bullpen in its entirety in the 4-game series?
I'd have to give it a 10.
10?
I mean, listen, you can, if you want to get a 10 should be 0 runs.
Yeah.
This is a game of baseball. Runs are going to be scored. Runs are going to be allowed. But what you can do is just be a very good team, and they were a very good pitching staff that they allowed 1 run in 4 games.
And I don't even know. Again, we can talk nitpicky. Can you even blame the bullpen for that loss? The offense only put up 1 run. You'd like to see a little more support offensively.
I completely agree.
So, yeah, I think that's an appropriate rating. And then Garrett Cole, I mean, the Yankees, I feel like, have so many like injuries and question marks with how the how the rotation is going to set up. So to see the ace come out and do what the ace should do, Yankee fans should also rate their happiness on as a 10 because that was really encouraging to see.
Yeah, Dave. Listen, I don't know if you got your lotion ready
I'm gonna need extra for the sunburn.
for the sun. Oh, yeah.
For
What
the
do you think we're
sunburn.
talking about here?
Not the Big D's Jack off
Oh,
version edition.
whoa.
I'm so happy Jack is not here because I get to present the Jack off segment for all the listeners. This is the first time for me. This is a big deal.
Oof.
Maybe one day you'll get to do it, but
I don't.
probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not,
Probably not.
unless you do an episode by yourself. But
You
I don't
never
see
know.
that
You
happening.
never know.
You never know. He is committed, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I'm gonna kind of pick a jack off for each team here. I know Jack only likes to do one jack off per day, and I'm built different. I'll give you two. All right, one for the Mets. I think it's pretty much the easiest one. I kind of hate to say it. You want to root for the guy, but also he's got someone behind him that you're just excited to see. Eduardo Escobar, man, he went 1 for 16, point 60, 0.063 average,
Just that bad.
7 strikeouts. When you, it's no secret, you know you have Beatty in your shadows. How are you not going to come in and produce? Yeah, I'll let you take it away. You're the Mets fan here. Tell me about Eduardo. What's going on here?
Listen, Eduardo is such a nice dude. He really looks like such a great clubhouse guy. Apparently, everybody loves him. Everybody wants to see him succeed. But when Brett Beatty goes 4 for 4,
Oh,
it's 2 bombs, and is making great defensive plays at AAA,
he's looking good.
just proving that he's ready for the big leagues. And Escobar just doesn't do it.
One,
It's tough to see.
1 for 16.
It's I don't know. And you know what? He wasn't really even hitting the ball hard. It's not like it wasn't like a tough 1 for 16. 7 strikeouts and 16 at bats. Like that's almost half your at bats. Listen. I hope he turns it around. Buck Showalter already came out and said that he's getting the day off the first game against the Brewers. So I don't know how you can need a day to clear your head when you're 4 games into the season, but maybe it'll help him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's tough. I hope he turns it around, but if he keeps it up this way and Beatty keeps hitting, I don't think it'll be much longer until we see Brett Beatty in Queens.
Yeah, I mean, he can't make it an easy decision, right? He can't make it an easy decision. And if you're continuing to produce the stat line, it's not going to be hard to make the switch. So hopefully he can turn it around. He is a great guy. It seems easy guy to root for. But Mets fans, we even heard some chants at the stadium. Anytime he would get out, we heard the Beatty chants. It was oh, Eduardo, let's see if you can turn it around. And then the Yankees, like I kind of said, the Yankees. There's no one who I think really did like awful, right? So you have to look to the one loss so far, and you look to the starting pitcher, Clark Schmidt. Again, you kind of like another guy who's really trying to earn a spot, maybe like become a staple piece of this pitching staff here. Came out and threw an 8.10 ERA, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs, and just 3 1/3 and pitched. Didn't get much support from the bullpen either. And again, the Yankees maybe could have come around and still won this game, but you're Clark Schmidt and you're pitching second game of the season for the Yankees. Again, we just have so many question marks there. You would like to see him come out and get a stronger start. I don't love giving him the jack off. I'm still hopeful. I think that dude on the motorcycle is still hopeful as well. He wants me to shut off about Clark Schmidt, but I'm not losing faith in him. Right? It's early. We'll see how he can bounce back. I think a real good test is how he bounced back in his next pitching appearance. So we'll keep our eyes and ears open, and we'll see what he can do. You have any thoughts on Clark Schmidt?
Listen, it's just the first start of the season. You can't get too carried away. Like you said, there wasn't really a big guy on the Yankees team that really was like, hey, you really sucked this series. You can get nitpicky about some players, but it was tough to see. And
Yeah,
I think the Yankees have definitely improved from there.
and you know what? Just speaking of Michael King too, FaceTime my girlfriend after the game. Said he was a really hot dude. Trade him. Trade him. He's a jackoff.
Well,
Get him off the team.
Can I tell you who I said we should trade opening day?
Oh.
Mark Canna. The guy just wouldn't say hi to me. I'm pretty sure we'll send you guys clips. You guys will see him.
We sat in left field for opening day. This dude every inning waved to him, and I filmed him so many times, just failing over and over again. So yeah, we are anti Michael Caine
and Mark Canna. I love Mark Canna, but God, just say hi to me next time. Otherwise, I gotta say we're trading you.
Good trade him.
All right, hold on. We got one more segment, Dave. This is yours.
This is mine. This ain't going anywhere.
This ain't going nowhere.
And I will not miss Big D's Big Odds.
You can never miss Big D's Big Odds.
And we're gonna have to figure out a way. Maybe we'll have Jack film a separate video or something to give his answers. But spotlight's kind of on you for Big D's Big Odds. Listen, since the season started, I don't know if you guys watched the initial episodes or remember what's on the line here, but every week the loser is gonna have to wear a piece of apparel from the opposing team. So if V wins, Jack has to wear a Mets hat in the next recording, and vice versa. If you lose, you're wearing Yankee stuff, my guy. So these aren't bets to be taken lightly, and I'm excited to give them to you. But really, all the lights of Miami are on you right now, my guy. So.
Listen, I'm super excited. I know you guys love me, so hopefully you guys stay loving me.
We are also anti-Big V. Now listen, I'm gonna be mean to you. I'm gonna start with the Yankees over under.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Right. Usually I let Jack answer these first, but Jack's not here. He didn't get invited on the Miami trip. I couldn't afford it. All right, so hey, we talked about Anthony Volpe a lot, and I think the thing that stands out after this opening day series was the fact that he stole a base in each of the 3 games. So I'm going to set an over-under line. Anthony Volpe's stolen bases for the next series against the Philadelphia Phillies at 1.5. It's a 3-game series. Are you going to take the over or the under?
I'm going to take the under.
Wow.
Let me tell you why, though. The Phillies have a guy named JT Realmuto.
Who?
JT Realmuto.
Who?
I'm not saying it again. The Phillies got one of the better catchers in the game.
Yep.
He'll be a tough guy to run on. I love Volpe. I think he's stealing 1. I think he's stealing 1 this series.
Okay. Just won't give him 2.
I just don't think give him 2. As much as I want to, and watch, he's going to steal 2 games the first game. I'm going to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the under. It's just because I want to win, so I feel like I got to go against Jack a little bit here. I know Jack's up to fucking over.
Jack's going to take the over.
So I'm going to take the under just because I can also see him struggling. They're going to face Nola that 3rd series. I know they're facing Taiwan Walker, former Met, and Strom. So I could see him definitely getting on base, but it's going to be tough to see. I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, but that's an interesting point, too. I mean, we saw him get his first hit, but you can't steal base if you don't get on base. So let's see how well he hits. Let's see how many opportunities he gets. Mm-hmm. It's not an easy over to take.
Also, the Giants catcher, I'm not going to lie, just did not look good at all.
Especially, so we're filming this on Sunday in today's game earlier. Ooh. How many wild pitches in that 1 inning?
Well, I mean, the guy would backhand pitches in the dirt.
Yeah.
When there's a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. I don't process.
Just give us the runs. Now, next one. So the Mets are going to Milwaukee for a 3-game series. Guy we didn't really talk about in terms of offensive production of the opening day series is Mr. Lindor. Obviously looked great defensively. Didn't do terrible offensively.
No.
But one thing he didn't do was hit a home run. So I'm going to set an over-under line in this upcoming series. Lindor home runs, over-under 0.5.
I'm going to smack the over, my friend. Francisco Lindor, as any of you Mets fans who are watching know, hit a grand slam against the Milwaukee Brewers last year. So good numbers against them, I'm pretty sure. And my gut is telling me Lindor is going to get a hold of 1 in the series. It's a 3-game series. He plays every day. He's going to get at least 12 at-bats in the series. I think it's a hold of 1.
All right, yeah. I'm curious to see what Jack will take for that one. I wouldn't be surprised if he took the over as well. I mean, Lindor's a solid baseball player, so it's kind of just, will he get a hold of 1 or not? It's hard to tell. But
wait, I got to say this because I'm going to say it every episode until he wins it. Lindor's going to win the Gold Glove at shortstop.
Oh, dude, to see him in person, It was he's such a smooth fielder. Turns
Ah,
some nice double plays. I always say double plays are my favorite thing to watch, and oh god, he looks so comfortable out there. It's fun to watch. Next line here, we'll go back to the Yankees. So Phillies gave up a lot of runs their first two games.
that's right.
Gave up 11 and then 17 to the Rangers. Only gave up two today. Looked a little bit better today. And we know what kind of juggernaut the Yankees can be offensively.
Yep.
So I'm going to set an over-underline on the total runs scored by the Yankees in this upcoming series at 14 and a half.
Okay, so combine all the runs the Yankees scored in all three games.
Correct.
Okay, it's a good line. So that means they got to score on average 5 a game. Facing Walker, Stram, and Nola, I can see them definitely scoring under for the Sunday. I'm going, and you know what? The Phillies they're 0-3. They're definitely gonna win a game in this series, I think.
You would like to think that this rocky start is not true to who the Phillies are.
I'm gonna take the over, but I could definitely see the Phillies at least pulling one game out of the series.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, like, I could see the Sundays. I'm sorry, not Sundays. The third game of the series
Yeah.
definitely be a low scoring game with Cole and Nola on the mound. But I could see the game, especially Walker. I think the Yankees hit Walker when he was against the Mets pretty well, and I could definitely see Schramm getting rocked by all the righty bats in the lineup.
Yeah.
So
I mean, hey, we thought Nola and DeGrom was going to be a hell of a starting pitching matchup, but I think Phillies ended up scoring 7 that game. It was a high scoring
it
game.
was a high-scoring game.
I don't know how many DeGrom gave up. I believe Nola gave up 5, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, then the Phillies bullpen allowed way more than that.
Yeah, way more, way more. But yeah, we'll see if they can turn it around. Hopefully they do, because obviously you cannot continue at that pace. But another one where not to give Jackson answers, but I probably see him taking the over as well.
Definitely.
Let's bring it back to the Mets. Scherzer
Mad
overall
Max.
looks pretty good.
I would say so.
That's pretty good. He's probably going to get the start on the third game of the series to the Brewers.
As of now, yes.
Yeah, never know what the Mets pitching
I
staff.
can't. I can't assume. We said Verlander last time, and just disappeared like that. So I don't know.
We bought tickets to see him pitch.
And great vantage point to see the starting pitcher pitch.
And who didn't pitch? Mr. Verlander. Anyway.
And no Kate Upton. Anyway, sorry. Anyways.
So let's set an over-underline on Scherzer's strikeouts. Looks pretty good on the mound opening day.
Yep.
How many did he finish with?
6.
Finished with 6 strikeouts opening day?
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you think he's going to do better? Because I'm going to set an over-underline at 6.5.
I'm gonna go with yes. I'm gonna take the over. I never know with these bets. Yes, no's, over, unders.
Maybes.
I'm gonna take the over. Scherzer actually pitched against Brewers last year as well and pitched 6 perfect innings against them.
Okay.
So I think he can own this lineup. I think there's a lot of guys who could swing and miss in this Brewers lineup, and I think Scherzer probably gets around 8 strikeouts if I were to guess. So I'm gonna take the over.
All right. We'll have to stay tuned to see Jack's input on that. Now, the last one we're going to do for today, we're going to do a Yankees and Mets one combined. So they each have a 3-game series coming up. That means the 2 teams together will play 6 games in total. Now, I'm going to set an over-underline on the combined wins for the 2 New York teams here. Do you think the Yankees and Mets will win over or under 3.5 games in the upcoming series?
I'm gonna take the under.
Ooh, that surprised me.
I think Mets and Yankees both won their first series. I could see one of us losing one of these series coming up.
Just baseball.
It's just baseball. It's just stats. It's numbers. I'm a numbers guy.
He's a numbers guy.
And I'm a gambling
You
man.
should see him at the casino. He's a numbers guy.
You shouldn't see me at the casino. Hard Rock, you took all my money. Anyways, I'm going to take the under. I can see the win being total of 3. I can see either the Mets or Yankees winning 2, and either the Mets or Yankees winning 1. You know, if that made any sense. I see it. So I'm going to take the under.
Very interesting. Again, we'll see what Jack says. Hopefully these teams keep winning because I feel like we're gonna have a lot more fun doing these episodes if our teams are winning.
100%.
So, yeah, we'll stay tuned to see how these over unders lines work out.
Yeah.
You got any upcoming thoughts on the Mets series against the Brewers?
Initially, I'm gonna say not really. We got a flight to catch tomorrow,
You want
and
to go to bed, don't you?
I want to go to bed. So I'm gonna say I'm excited to see against a contending team, Brewers. It's gonna be a good series. They'll be in Milwaukee. I'm excited to see Scherzer pitch against them again. I like seeing Scherzer. Carrasco is pitching. That's gonna be exciting to see as well. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game.
All right. Well, don't stress about it too much tonight. You've done a lot of work today. Get a good night's sleep.
Thank
Maybe
you.
pack your bags because you got a flight to catch.
Now, before we finish off, are we on the socials, Dave?
You know what? We're on Twitter at BQB Podcast. We're on Instagram at BQB Podcast. We're on TikTok at BQB Podcast. And you guys can listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google, iHeartRadio.
There's like 10 more.
There's 10 more. I don't even
I
know.
can't even list them. We're just all over the place.
Jack's got us everywhere.
We have shorts coming out all the time. We got reels. We got tops.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube.
And so we're trying to pump out as much content as we can for you guys. We're trying to create a fun atmosphere for everybody to come here. If you have anything you want us to talk about in the future, please let us know. Comment. We'd love to talk to all you fans out there.
Yeah, and thank you guys for listening. If you liked us, tell your grandpa because
She'll love us.
No, he'll love us.
Oh.
They already told their grandmas.
Oh, you told your grandpa.
Yeah,
tell your grandparents. They'll love us.
Tell the whole fam, but especially your grandma, please. All right, we'll catch you guys next time.
Have a
Goodbye,
good one.
Miami.
Yes.
We'll see you back in New York.
Bye. I love the sun.